All right, we're live.
How's it going, bro?
Great. That is great. That was a bit Smeagol.
PewDiePie Golem.
Introducing Anisa's new character, PewDiePie Golem. Take the floor, milady.
Brofist.
Did you say brofist? Nice. All right. That's fucking sick. This is good. This is a good way to start because this is going to be my very first podcast without notes, which means...
Really?
You're doing
Yeah.
the opposite of what the angry comments want.
Yes. Unprepared. Completely.
Yeah, what else is new?
I've been taking corporate
Jiu-jitsu.
comedy classes.
Oh,
So I just want to try out some of my improv.
corporate comedy classes.
Yeah, Ian spent $65,000 on improv classes, so let's see if it paid off.
And take the floor.
No, you have to give me a place and a celebrity.
Dave, you haven't watched The Curse yet, but that was like the whole thing was a curse
Oh,
meme.
I've seen that clip. That's actually what made me want to watch it because I was like, that's so fucking funny.
It was. Now, whenever me and Ian, if one of us is like getting too hype or like getting overwhelmed, the other one goes.
It's genuinely like one of the fucking funniest things you can do with someone who's close to you, someone who you aren't going to be fucking super embarrassed by doing that around.
Oh, that's so funny.
Right, because what makes that scene so funny is that he's doing it in front of strangers and then immediately regrets it.
Well, okay, I don't want to like. This isn't like a spoiler, but if you want to go into The Curse like completely not spoiled, if you haven't seen it, don't listen to this part. But it's especially funny. The writing is so good in that scene because they're going around the circle and like everybody has to like make people laugh without saying anything. That's like the whole premise. And everyone's doing the most like lackluster, like not funny things, like just like pointing and like doing whatever, and the circle chuckles at everyone's motions.
Yeah.
So then when it gets to Nathan or Asher and he does the fucking face, literally no one laughs, and it makes it like so much more like uncomfortable, but also funny. It's fucked up. I hate it.
I think the best part about it is it holds on his face.
Yeah.
So you see him just thinking about like, that was bad. That was bad.
They do that a lot in the show where it's like a little bit of, they're not they want to make you uncomfortable obviously by holding on shots a little longer, but it also makes you like look at the character and like trying to figure out what's going through their head.
Well, yeah, you're the observer, and I think it's also meant to be a comment, especially after listening to Safdie talk about it after. You're supposed to like, it's supposed to break the illusion of curated television, of curated like stuff for us to watch. So it lingers on shots after people perform the social tasks that they're being asked to perform. So you like sit in the fact that these are people who are putting on a show for themselves and for other people.
Yeah.
So, which is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. The whole thing is like you crawling out of your skin the whole time watching it. But I mean, it's very good.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, I don't know. I went into it thinking that it was going to be a comedy.
Yeah.
And it was just going to be kind of awkward humor. And I was like, I think I saw a promo for it. I watched a promo and it was basically it was basically what you would be seeing if you were watching the HGTV show.
Yeah.
So it was like very straightforward. And I was like, oh, this is like, I guess kind of funny, but I'm so glad it was much more than that.
Yeah.
More of the making of.
Emma Stone was so good at being unlikable.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
I don't have a single character that I was like, that was poorly done or even mediocrely done. I liked every single character for just being what that character was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, very relatable. I didn't know that, and Dane, you might know more about this because you're more of a film head. But Benny Safdie, I he does he usually act, or is he just a director primarily?
He does both.
Yeah.
I've seen Benny Safdie in a lot of stuff recently. I think he kind of splits his time pretty evenly between writing and directing movies with his brother.
Hmm.
Because the Safdies is like a directing duo.
Right. That's the
that have
A24
made-
duo.
Yeah, they've made 2 pretty good films, Good Time and Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems is one of my favorite movies.
Oh.
And
okay.
so they made that movie, but he acted opposite Robert Pattinson in the first like big movie that they made, which was Good Time. So he's like, I think he wants to be an actor too, because I've seen him in stuff like Licorice Pizza, and I think he was in like the Obi-Wan show or something. Like I just see him crop up in random stuff where he's acting. So I think he just likes to do both.
Did you like Licorice Pizza?
I liked some things about it. I'm a huge
Okay.
fan of Paul Thomas Anderson, so I knew going into it that I would just kind of like the vibe of it. It is kind of like a hangout movie, so if you're not in the mood to just kind of like watch people do stuff, then it's whatever.
Okay.
But I know that the big thing that people always complain about is like that it doesn't tell you how you're supposed to feel about the age difference, which I get can be a problem for people.
Man.
You can just feel like it's cringe, and the movie works because
Yeah. I feel like
the main character is cringe.
there's a lot of people like having discussions about like media literacy right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
yeah. It's a big hot word to use.
Yeah, I think it's actually just really true, though. I think that we are becoming a little bit. I think this is my theory as to why it's going on the internet, which all of us live on now, basically. It's our only third space. When you share an opinion, you have to preface it and postface it with a ton of context so nobody can kind of like cut you off or like, interpret your like opinion in a way that's unfavorable, because comments, are comments.
Of course, yeah.
And I think that has trained our brains to expect intense prefacing before something is delivered.
Right.
So if you give something that's ambiguous, it's supposed to be obvious, right? People can't. It's just not. We're not used to it anymore.
I mean, even the other day, Anisa and I were walking the little frog, and he was hopping along, and Anisa said before something very innocuous, she was like, "In my opinion," and I was like, "What the fuck?" She was like, she said that the dog's butthole is brown or something like that. I don't know. It was no, she didn't. It was something like so okay and like whatever.
Yeah.
That
I can't remember.
I was just so surprised
that there was a preface.
No, I think you were excited about the progress that Merlin was making.
Yes. Yeah.
You were like, in my opinion, I think he's far much further along
than he should be. Yeah.
And I like stopped her and I was like, wait, in your opinion, that's like internet speak.
Yeah.
Like, we're not on the internet, babe.
Yeah.
I trust that was your opinion. And I've caught myself doing that at times, but I do think it's true. And I think you raise a valid point.
Yeah.
That we do expect that from people. It's like, you need to say something before and after to ensure that,
you're being intensely watched.
Yeah, and you've thought through it all.
Yeah, like I think that's Bo Burnham and some other people who've been online for a long time. Like these are the conversations that they have had and they're trying to have, which is like just be aware of how like performative we have to be in order to be like basically socially accepted. I mean, I've been exploring. This has been like kind of like a hot topic, I think, in specifically therapy. I mean, we've been online for like 10 years or something like that. Roughly. And you like start to learn, I don't know, there's like a lot of good things about the internet, but there's obviously like a lot of bad things about the internet. And I think once you have been in the industry for 10 plus years, you start to see the damage of, basically like the threat of being rejected at any time by your peers, which are viewers and other content creators. And like, to stay relevant, you have to share opinions. But we kind of live.
That is more so the fear that people have when people say, "I'm afraid to be canceled."
Totally.
They're
It's
not
social
actually
rejection.
afraid. I mean, obviously, part of it, I'm sure, is the idea
Losing
that
your
you're
job,
losing,
money.
income. But that social rejection of like,
Yeah.
oh, people don't trust that I'm a good person.
Yeah, they don't like me. They don't agree with me. I am the outcast.
Right.
And like it really does feel like, like at the dog park, the dog tornado,
Mhm.
and there's the one dog that's being chased.
Mhm.
That's like, it's like everybody sees somebody getting piled on and everyone piles
Right.
on the person. And it's so like, I've talked to my therapist about this a million times, and I've heard other therapists talk about this. Kirk Honda talked about it. The worst fear in the world that human beings have is rejection.
Mm-hmm.
So if you share an opinion,
Yeah.
and the majority of people are like, actually, you hurt my feelings, and what if I don't like beans? Like the whole conversation about like
Right.
how to make a good bean soup, and somebody's like, what if I don't like beans?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And nobody wants to like be told like, you didn't make me feel good.
Right. Right.
Your thing that you offered me actually made me feel like shit.
Hmm.
That's like a very hard thing, I think, for anyone to deal with.
How good would it be if we took that approach that like we're more so upset that we are making other people feel
Yeah.
not heard or whatever,
Yeah.
like the idea with the beans.
Because it's frustrating.
Yeah.
You like offer this thing that you think is awesome, and then the response is like, well, this doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the woman who was talking about how happy she was to like have a garden to have a coffee in on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
And everyone was like, what the fuck, bitch? You privileged bitch? Like everybody was like ripping her apart on Twitter.
Right.
Like you gotta go to therapy for that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. What do you mean?
So like you're
To
sharing
rip
like
on people?
no, you have to
Oh.
go to therapy to be like
To deal with
to
that.
deal with that shit.
Right. Right.
I mean, even like learning I wish people could experience. I know I don't wish, but I wish people knew what it was like to be hung up by the banister and just smoked by every commentary. Not even people you respect, other YouTubers, viewers, commenters, like to be hung up in the rafters and just beaten to the point where you have nothing left.
Yeah.
Well,
even watching the curse, I was reminded. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there's like a thing known as like traditional media,
yeah,
and like those fuckers are the originators
Yeah.
of all of the slander and the
Yep.
fucking bad practices.
yeah,
And they're fucking good at it.
yeah,
I forget, but just because obviously like no one in the mainstream media gives a fuck who iDubbbz is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of forgot that was also another avenue
yeah. Another
of
world.
rejection
Yeah.
and isolation and all of
Yeah,
that.
it's hard.
Yeah.
You even think about traditional celebrities like Britney Spears when she was going through
Mm-hmm.
everything that she was going through, to be like put in tabloids as like a mess, a bad mother, fat, like all these like things, right? How was she supposed to? I just don't think there's any human being that can go through that and like
No.
survive fully.
Yeah.
There's a piece of you that,
You need help.
You
definitely
definitely
need
need
help. Yeah.
yeah.
This
so
is
like,
so funny that you guys are talking about this because last night I actually watched a movie that is basically about this, and it was really good, and I think you guys would really like it.
oh really? What movie?
It was called Dream Scenario.
Oh,
Is that
it
the
stars
Nicolas Cage meme?
Yep.
Oh.
oh, I love Nicolas
Wow.
Cage.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really good in it. It's probably one of my favorite roles I've seen in him, seen from him.
Wow.
But
Check
yeah,
it
I
out.
watched it and I was like, I think Ian and Anisa would really like this because it really touches on like the experience of being a known person and kind of like losing control of your image.
Yeah.
You know what the movie's about, right? Like,
No.
I thought. I mean,
Ian
I
knew
vaguely
about it.
Yeah, I vaguely heard that. Is it something to do with like seeing the same guy in your dreams or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Something
Like
like
character?
So basically, like Nick Cage is just some like random person. He just plays like a normal, like kind of neurotic, just kind of like a loser, really, just some like forgettable person. But it's never really explained why this happens. But he starts appearing in everyone's dream, and everyone on Earth is like, who is this guy? Like, what are you? And he becomes like a meme or like popular overnight, and he's just like, oh, weird, okay. And then over time, people start not liking seeing him in their dreams.
Well, yeah, 'cause
and
he's doing
they
shitty
start
things, right?
yeah,
And-
yeah,
yeah.
like he can't control what he does in other people's dreams.
Right.
So like sometimes he does like shitty things, like he like chases them or tries to kill them, and they're like, fuck that guy, and he's just like, I didn't do anything. And so it's like, it's a really funny like metaphor for like losing control of your image, like people interpreting you in like whatever way they want, and then they just hate you, and then you can't really do anything about it. And what's really interesting, it's like, it's not like really anti-cancel culture as much as just kind of like showing
what it does,
what it does to everybody, because everybody is also like, I feel like everyone in the movie just has a bad time. It's not a very, it's like a dark comedy, like it doesn't really end well. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I like movies like that.
Yeah. I think you guys would really like it. You should check it out. It's on Max, HBO.
Okay.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, we should check that out, because I don't know. I mean, I've really been enjoying like thinking about all of the like this type of stuff as I've like gotten better at getting my feet underneath myself and taking care of myself. Like, I'm able to start thinking about like what it means to be online for me, what I want to get out of being online at this point. And I think those are important questions. Like, I think every content creator that's been on here for a long time has to ask those questions. Like, Jenna Marbles obviously asked herself that question, and the answer was, I don't want to be here anymore.
Right.
Matt Pat asked that question. His answer was, I don't want to be here anymore, really.
Although I'm suspicious of that. I haven't looked into any of the actual things that he's doing. Like, but he was doing like some sort of podcast with YouTube.
Well, then there you go.
It's a different thing.
Right. And maybe that's like, you know,
it's a new phase.
Right. Like Ethan and Neela asked themselves, and they wanted to do, you know, a podcast, and clothing line. Like, you have to ask that question eventually. And like, I'm excited about it, but it makes me sad, because, you know, you look at where you've come from and what you're doing and what you've been through. And I don't know, it's a lot. I think everybody that's online that's ever had any amount of like attention, it's a lot. 'Cause, you know, you have to deal with people not liking you on a mass scale to some extent, you know. I mean, Jenna Marbles bought a fucking fish tank.
Yeah, and she got fucking lambasted very quickly with people weren't very like fair to her, you know. Yeah, it's just tough to deal with. I think that's one thing that it feels like based on some people that I've spoken to, other creators, and I think an occasional fan. I think that's like a line in the sand. I think a lot of people draw, which is basically like, if someone is like criticizing me for something I consider to be like pretty mundane and like not worth, not that big of a deal, like I take that very like personally, and I don't see it just as like a bit of criticism or a bit of advice to get better or improve as a person. And they just want it, you know, they want it very obviously to be supportive or very obviously to be hateful. Right?
Yeah. The in-between is
it's really tough. And that's, I think, where people sort of get lost, and they're like, I don't want to navigate this middle ground area where I have to use my own like judgment on a case-by-case basis of like what is worth it for me, and sometimes it's hard, right? Because you're not the one impacted by it. So it's kind of like, you know, I guess in Jenna Marbles' case, like she's not swimming around in the tank. She hasn't personally been affected maybe by the, you know, I don't know, the abuse of fish over the years from Petco or elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, you know, and, you know, I also make mistakes, have the ability to make mistakes and learn and grow.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's super scary.
It's really hard, because I'll tell you, as like someone who did work at a pet store, the standards that they have for like what is acceptable for animals to be, like how to sell them and what to sell them with, is very low. So unless you have like a special interest in animals, or you really care about animal care, like you're not trained to tell people what is appropriate for the animal. Most of the animals in a PetSmart are not being treated properly at all.
Yeah, from the jump.
From the
when
jump.
you go in the store,
Yeah.
you're like, none of this is ideal.
So to expect a consumer to go in, and I think it was like a beta fish or something,
Yeah.
which are sold in very small cups, and you're told like they live in puddles in Japan and like blah blah blah. You know, like
Yeah.
that was the spiel we got when I worked there, and it's the same thing. You look at like hamsters, right? You look at a hamster cage, and what they're sold as very small. It's not correct for a hamster. Hamsters like to burrow. Hamsters like dirt. They don't, sand. They don't want like so if you're going into a place, this is a pet store that everyone goes into, right? It's the pet store. And you go in and you say, I want to buy a beta fish. And you have someone that you assume has been trained properly to tell you what to buy with it. And they tell you, this is acceptable. This is acceptable. You go home, you set it up, you put it on the internet, and you get that reaction. Like that's, I mean, I'm sure it was frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean, she handled it very well.
Well, for me, it's like, I mean, what did we do? We went to I think we went to a PetSmart or a place. We were just browsing around. No, it was Goodwill. We went to a Goodwill, and there was some fucking bedding for a snake.
Oh, yeah, the aspen bedding.
Aspen bedding.
Yeah.
And Anisa was like, oh, no.
I wouldn't
Or
put
something like
aspen
that. I'm
bedding
like,
in
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's being judgmental for the aspen bedding?
Well,
Literally says fucking boa
I know.
constrictor aspen bedding or something like that.
It's supposed to be like hypoallergenic
Right.
for most animals or
Right.
something.
But it is interesting, though,
Yeah.
because you'll see that, and you'll see that it's got the fucking thing that you need to take care of on there. So there's a lot of trust that you're putting into
Right.
the world.
It's being sold to
PetSmart.
you.
Yeah. It's
But we
very
live in a
tough.
world where people sell you fucking lead-laden applesauce.
Lead laden. That is that is cool.
Lead laden.
That's what's.
It's lead laden applesauce.
I mean, hey, kids
Yeah,
were eating
no, it
it.
is.
So-
It's like fucking, man, Anissa's coming with the good words today.
Laden.
Yeah, laden.
It's because I got my fucking jaw clapped
Oh,
by the dentist. It sounds-
jaw clapped.
It sounds bad.
That's fucked up. That's
yeah, it sounds-
sexual.
no, not sexual style. Bad style.
Bad style.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, how was your dental experience?
Well, we did speak it into existence. We're like, oh yeah, we gotta go to the dentist. So I went to the dentist and I cleaned my teeth the first visit, but I have cavities, of course, because I haven't been to the dentist in like 10 years. So I went to go get my first round of cavities filled on my left side, and the numbing process made me see God for sure. I hated it. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, Anissa said that they hit a nerve.
Yeah, they
Literally.
hit no, right on it for sure. They were like trying to blow cold air on the outside of my cheek. I think they like thought it was gonna distract me. No. I feel that shit going in. I feel the fluid going into my body. I hate it. It fucking feels so gross. But she was in there for like 5 minutes, but her like second squeeze of like numbing stuff, I felt like a lightning bolt go up through my tongue, and I could feel all the little branches of the nerve light up. I could map out. I feel like I could confidently draw you what my nerve looks like in my
That's cool.
tongue and jaw.
But that's good, though, because it means you're all numbed up
Yeah.
hyper effectively.
Well, so she finished numbing, and she was like, okay, I'm going to come back and do the other half before we start. And I was like, okay. It hurts so fucking bad. But I'm very poker face when things hurt me because I don't like bothering people. So they left me in the room. And very quickly after they left me, I was like, oh no, I'm fainting, I think I'm fainting right now. And everything started blacking out, and I was getting sweaty, and I knew I was like right on the edge. And I was trying to fight it so bad because my worst nightmare was like them coming back in the room and I'm just like on the floor or some shit. Because I have fainted before from getting my blood drawn, and it felt identical to when I woke up, right? Because you feel it, and then all of a sudden you're awake, and you're like, well, what the fuck happened?
You're getting all clammy and
I was
sweaty.
getting all clammy. I was getting that like layer of sweat and stuff. And I was fighting and fighting and fighting. And she came back, and I was like, oh my God, thank God, at least she's like here, so it's not a shock. And I said to her, I'm like, I think I'm gonna faint. And so they went into like, like she looked at me, she's like, you look like you're gonna faint. So she like got me like sugary snacks and like trying to cool me down and whatever. I ended up not fainting, which I'm super thankful for. But the idea of her having to numb me more, like I couldn't stomach it at all because it hurt so bad the first time. But she ended up testing to see if she could just start working, and everything was like extremely numb. And she was like, oh, I must have actually hit the nerve. So, because they're aiming for around the nerve, and they do so much because like, it will eventually numb it. But if you hit on the nerve, she said she only had to use half the amount that she usually uses. So
Yeah.
I guess I got my nerve lit up.
Yeah. You, that was one out of, is it going to be 4 cavity or 4 fillings?
4 visits.
4 visits for fillings.
For fillings. And then I have to go and get my wisdom teeth removed after.
I told Anisa to be the sacrificial lamb for all of the dental proceedings.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go in.
I mean, it's just the way that our relationship works. That's for
You're
some.
the sacrificer.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know when it comes to physical stuff.
I'm like,
some
go in the
reason-
tattoo shop and check that it's safe, babe.
I did. Yeah, I got my tattoos.
Make
first.
sure they're cool in there.
Yeah.
I'm only going to go in if they're cool.
Yeah, I built a relationship with Josh,
Yeah.
and then you came to get your first tattoo. I think my 5th tattoo.
But I've gone to some places in Australia
you
now
have. You
that I'd like to, go back to you with.
Yeah, no, I would love to do that. I think also like back tattoo. Like I think there was no world where you were getting a back tattoo.
No,
before.
I got to fill up everything else first.
Yeah. So back tattoo, now dentist. Dentist, I pray that it's not as bad on because I have to go back on Monday.
It'll be better. It'll be better. Send good vibes Anissa's way.
Oh, when this comes out, I'm gonna be getting fucking
Yeah.
shanked in the jaw this on Monday. So yeah, send good vibes.
Yeah.
And maybe I won't get cursed.
You revealed like a cool life hack.
Mm.
If you ever go, now you can say if you ever go to the dentist and you want free snacks, you could just tell them you're gonna faint,
That's true.
and they'll give
They
you
gave
free
me
snacks.
and water, unlimited.
Man, that's like one of those super frugal like life hacks.
True.
Yeah.
I love
She gave
that.
me 2 Welch's fruit pouches. So you have 2.
Welch's fruit pouches?
Is that not what they're called?
No,
They're
I just
pouches
think
of
it's
fruit
awesome.
snacks.
Welch's
Yeah.
fruit pouches, lead-laden applesauce. Maybe we can, lead-laden lily-livered.
Oh,
Grubble Doobles, funny apple.
Google Doodle's funny apple. That's Dane's new apple line that
I
he's
like that.
putting out.
No, I just think that's epic. I don't know. I can't be it's very easy for me to be distracted by cool words.
That's true. No, I will say the dentist was horrific.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't think anyone. I mean, that sounds par for the course, right? I don't think anybody goes to the dentist and be like, "That was pretty fun."
But what
Thumbs up.
what is
Thumbs up.
wrong with me though? Why am I all of a sudden hitting the off button? Like I've given blood. I was in and out of the hospital my whole life, and now all of a sudden I've got my vagal cinescope going on, or whatever the fuck it's called. What's it called?
Vagal nerve response.
Vagal
vagus.
syncope or something.
I think you're making up that syncope part.
No, I'm not. That one I'm confident in.
It's just a
syncope.
response.
I bet you it's diet. I think I've brought this up before. I think it's just you're probably not eating enough of some mineral
Yeah.
that keeps you awake.
Iron or
You know?
something. My blood
Iron.
pressure
You
is
got some
hella low.
deficiency.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
no. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Dane. I think it's that, and I think it's also I don't know if the term is psychosomatic,
It is psychosomatic.
but I think it is just one of those things where it's like it's something that you start to think about and you become hyper aware of it. Like I feel like I could give it to myself.
Vasovagal syncope.
Oh, she's right.
I wasn't right about the.
Newsflash.
It's not Vagisil syncope. It's
yeah.
yeah, but syncope. I knew that part was right.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, have you ever been on like a roller coaster, or been in line for a roller coaster or something like that, and like maybe it's been a while, and you're like, oh, like
No.
I'm actually maybe a little bit nervous.
No, so here's
And
the
then
crazy.
you're like, wait, what if I'm not good? What if I'm really like actually not good to go on this ride?
No. This is the craziest part about it. I don't feel anxiety
Yeah, leading up to
it at all.
Okay.
I don't. I mean,
Well, that's
even
new
when I
for
gave
you, I
blood, I
think.
know. Well, doing medical procedures because I had to like deal with it when I was younger all the time. I was in and out of the
Right.
hospital. My brain is very much like
Good
is
up
what it
until the
is.
moment, right?
Well, it's just it is what it is. And
Okay.
I've never had a medical procedure where I've ever fainted as a child or a young adult. And then last year or this year when I gave blood,
Mm-hmm.
it's really weird. I don't feel my heart racing. I don't feel anything. It's just all of a sudden like
Yeah.
I'm fainting.
That's why I think that it's like a mineral deficiency related.
Yeah. You
because
think
it's not mental.
Yeah.
It's
don't-
physical.
I really don't think it's mental. But now I'm
No.
terrified of fainting. So once I
Right, so that
start
doesn't help.
feeling it doesn't help
Right.
because my brain is dumb.
Okay. Now.
Wow, Mr. No Notes over here.
No, this is separate. This is just my own brain firing off on all cylinders.
Bless.
Okay.
We have this is sort of like the ad in between. We have
Me
Baldur's
undies.
Gate out and about now. It's a
Oh.
Let's Play.
Yeah, true.
Right.
We have
That
Plants
just came out.
v Zombies. That's out, and people are loving it. Just part one for both of those as of this current recording. But if you want to watch it in its entirety, there's like 5.5 hours of Plants v Zombies on our Patreon.
And a
And
secret podcast.
And like 2.5 hours of the Baldur's Gate one too.
Yes.
Ooh.
So
And a
legit,
second podcast.
Yeah,
so
and the second podcast, which I think
there's a lot of
is-
shit.
we're increasing the value.
Yeah.
And I also
But every day there should be a video on this channel for a long time though. That's
Yeah.
what-
which is sick.
From something.
Yeah, and there's some good recommendations. Dane, someone had recommended something called like Insanitarium or something like that. Have you ever heard of that?
I think you're
Insane
talking about
Aquarium?
Insane Aquarium.
Oh yeah, Insane Aquarium.
Which we
Yeah,
talked
and
about
it's
in the
because-
game.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
do we?
because it got brought up.
What the fuck's Insane Aquarium?
What?
You don't
Were
remember
not
that?
Listening to
I
the
guess not.
Did you watch the episodes?
CTE.
Or did you just be like, yeah, probably
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
No, I think I do think that's what Ian did. It's Plants vs Zombies is a PopCap game.
Right.
Insane Aquarium is the original PopCap game that I played,
Oh.
and I didn't know that they were connected, so I got really excited. And
Oh.
so people want us
I
to
get
play
you. I
Insane
get you.
Yeah.
No, okay,
and
I
she was
remember
like, we
that.
should play that. And I was like, yeah, we could
Insanitarium.
totally play it. Doesn't, I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay. I love
So
that.
we might play it.
Maybe we should play in Sanitarium. That's where insanely unsanitary environment that we
Yeah.
have to
Well, a
clean.
sanitarium is like a
Right.
thing. It's like a psych ward or something like that.
An asylum?
Yeah, it's like that. I think that's what a sanitarium is, right?
What?
I
Yeah.
think so.
What? Is that really a thing?
I think a sanitarium or I mean, I
I'm
don't know if
gonna
that's the
look it
exact
up.
word. All right. I think that word or something, a word similar to it is describes a psych ward.
Interesting. I
We'll
thought
stand by to get a
A
confirmation.
sanitarium is a health facility that treats patients who are recovering from an illness or have a long-term condition.
Oh, because it's
Okay.
Also known as health resorts or sanatoriums.
Oh,
Okay, so not quite
Okay.
an insane
It's more
asylum.
it's more like maybe a rehab, but maybe just for people who have just illness in general.
Right.
put me in a sanitarium.
Yeah, you like that.
For what illness?
Being ill as fuck.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. You walk in, check into the sanitarium. Oh yeah, I like to check in for being fucking ill. So,
You guys got any of those straight jackets you can put on me?
So
because I'm
sexual.
fucking wild. And they call me the wild child.
Maybe you guys can explain some of these fucking. We're on ombudsing now.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
you can explain some of these comments to me because I don't understand them. Someone
All right.
says, You guys should put a poster in the back that reads "Smoke weed." Think that will be cool. Would be cool.
I mean, agree.
I don't get it. What's the impetus for that joke? Did we talk about smoking weed or something?
Maybe it's like
I think it's
'cause-
just funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little funny, and also they might be hearkening to your streams where you were like really. A lot of your viewers had weed smoking
That's true.
names, and you were like, "Whoa, we're weed smokers here.
Right.
I don't smoke weed, but I don't. But I support it.
I do support weed smokers.
Yeah, you support
That's true.
weed smokers.
I actually support weed smokers so much that I'm thinking about doing. I've been pitched a cannabis, a THC
Yeah,
related sponsor.
yeah, that's cool.
So I might partake,
Isn't
or I
that
might not. I might just tell other people to.
isn't that cannabis behind you?
What? Oh.
You said that was like your second like income.
That's how we're growing.
Oh yeah.
If you like it, you can buy it.
Yes.
Just let us know what leaf you want.
We'll chop a leaf
What
off
strain
for
of
you.
leaf? This?
That's an indigo leaf.
Humbug?
That's indigo. That's sativa.
Indigo?
That's our sativa leaf.
Wait.
Huh?
Indigo. That's blue.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
like purple.
Yeah, you were. I think you meant to say indica.
Indica.
Yeah.
Indica.
Sorry, I'm not. I don't really partake.
Yeah. We don't partake, but we support.
We have saliva strands.
But we
have
may-
indigo strands.
But we may if Weedmap sends us a nice check. You know?
Yeah. I
When
like
Ian
it.
was gone and I was like really stressed about Merlin, my friend kept telling me to download weed maps, but I was intimidated by it.
Yeah.
I only used it one time.
I lost
And
a lot of
some-
money investing in weed.
Some lady. Oh yeah, that's true. Some lady in a van showed up.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, because like Weedmaps is just DoorDash basically but they just pick stuff up from dispensaries. I
Okay.
mean,
oh.
it's just because DoorDash doesn't want to.
Man.
thought- I imagined in my head, Dane, that it was like someone who came in with one of those vans with like the pull side door, and they opened it, and there was like a bunch of like weed.
No, that's
plants.
what it was.
Oh,
she didn't
that's
open the
sick.
pull side door though. That would have been
Wow.
really funny.
That would
She
have
was
been
just in-
sick.
It was just some like middle-aged mom on her way to soccer practice or something, doing a side gig.
Middle-aged mob.
The band you were thinking of, which you completed in that thought, was Knife Party.
Yep.
The songs are Internet Friends and Centipede, of
Yep.
course.
Centipede.
You blocked me on Facebook.
And now you're going to die.
Oh, okay. This is an important one
Uh-huh.
because this is correcting Anisa.
Oh.
Ding 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 ding.
My
Bing,
favorite.
bing, bing, bing.
This is my favorite game.
Lol, your eyes in blue. It just reflects light. That's literally how every single color on Earth is.
I mean, that's true, but
Lamau.
apparently
Lamau.
that's true. But what I'm saying is, if you take the back of,
Yeah.
or if you take the actual
Well,
iris,
I will say it's not done. That was one comment. I saw another comment that
Oh.
was something about it that I think was a little bit more well thought out.
yeah, like it
So I'll get to
bounces
that.
the light off
In yeah,
in a particular way to make it look like it's blue.
right.
But when it's taken out of the eye and you're actually just looking at it,
It's not
it's
that
not
way.
the color blue.
You know
That's
what
all I was trying to
iris.
say.
Right, right. You know what? I feel like I've experienced that with like some dead fish.
Huh?
Like when I've been fishing.
Oh,
I feel like it's so different in depending on the context of
Yeah.
things. Like there's so much shit even in water. Like when you remove it out of the water, now it looks
Yes.
like a fucking
well, let me.
dirty
Okay,
piece of poop.
I had to take color theory in school for my art degree that I did not finish. I know that
Invalid.
light
You didn't
reflecting
finish
off
it.
of surfaces is what makes colors. I get it,
Mm,
but
You don't have the degree to prove it.
that's true. That's true. But I understand that basis. I'm just saying that when it's not in the eyeball, it looks brown or violet, or there's another color that it can be, but it can't be blue. It's not blue when you take it out. That's all
In
I'm
the
saying.
iris. In the iris.
Iris.
I have
Iris.
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 But anyways, I get it. Hey,
Oh my god. I'm trying to find this one that was owning you and I can't damn find it.
what? Maybe handling.
Can't shitting find it.
Maybe our social media.
Did they
manager
say
did.
something fucked to you?
What did they say? What was the?
Man. Whatever.
No,
It's
wait,
not like
wait.
it matters.
No, I want to know. What was the
Han.
premise?
Don't delete the funny ones.
Yeah, what the hell?
No.
Don't delete the funny ones.
Was
Was it another?
I don't
Irish
know. We
one?
just talked about freaking dogs so much. I'm seeing so many comments about dog and Minecraft. Someone said 5 blocks a little high. OD. What does OD mean? Oh no, 5 blocks high, a little OD. What does that mean?
Audacious.
Over dramatic.
Oh, over dramatic.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then
I've
they
looked
said,
that up before because I've seen that and I was like,
Oh.
what is that?
like 3 enough. Y'all so greedy.
Yeah, we're privileged in our Minecraft world.
The roof being 3.
That is good.
Because like, is it 3 blocks plus a block for the roof, or is it 3 blocks and the third block is the roof?
I would
3 blocks of air.
Yes, I would
That
say
make
3
sense?
blocks of air. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, then mine would be 4. 'Cause the
Oh.
5th one is the ceiling block.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Minecraft Steve.
I want to know the one that was owning me.
Steve!
Was it about the iris?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just fucking.
Or was it about me being
It felt like it
fugly?
was more detailed, but I only read like the first fucking like 3 lines of it, and I'm like, all right, this will be technical. This will be some technical shit.
All right,
But
I'll come
I can't-
clean. It was me. I made a hate comment, sorry, but I deleted it because I
Thanks,
really
Dan.
want to be on this podcast,
Thanks for seeing the light.
and I knew that you guys would fire me.
That would have been your second strike.
Yeah.
Someone said it takes about 3 months for dogs to get used to new puppy. My dog would drool and was always anxious around the pup. 1 year later, they're best friends.
Aw,
That's
sweet.
fucking. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Fiona has been like improving leaps and bounds recently.
Yeah.
She is letting Merlin like fucking go buck wild on her,
Yeah.
like jumping around. He'll like shove his ass in her face constantly for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's very goofy.
It's funny. Sometimes he'll do like a little bit of like an S dance where he'll like kind of like turn his body into her and like
Yeah.
hip check her and then come around and like always in her face, and she
Yeah,
doesn't care
there's
anymore.
this video. It's kind of like the video. I don't know if you guys have seen it of the Shiba Inu that fights other dogs by slamming its ass into their face. It's like the ultimate fucking like strategy for like dog fights. Like if you ever like maybe
Yeah.
in the if maybe you get reincarnated as a dog or something, that's what you want to do.
Use your ass.
Use your ass.
Ian
'cause
literally
it fucking throws him off.
when Merlin was first like coming up to Fiona and like putting his freaking genitals in her face, Ian typed into Google, "Why is my puppy, putting his cock in my other dog's face?" And the top result was, "Maybe he wants a BJ."
That was like the Google AI response.
Yeah. I like
was a
that.
DJ.
Yeah. That's how you know the
It just
AI is
said that.
working if they'll give you a fucking goofy response now and again.
Maybe he wants to suck it.
Ever think of that? We did get a lot of comments generally about what it's like having an adopted dog because I did want to hear about people's experience, and there was a fair bit. Someone says, I adopted a relatively young dog 7 years ago without knowing he was reactive to other dogs. We've had
Yeah.
multiple trainers, tried many varying techniques, and been regimented about training. The reactivity and separation anxiety has gotten better over time, but it's definitely still there. We still have a full-blown meltdown once every few months on walks when encountering this specific type of triggering dog. It's a trigger warning, dog racism. I'm far better at snapping him out of it and redirecting now, not to mention just avoiding situations I know lead to trouble.
Yeah.
But it's still somewhat sad that he has to live a relatively small life with no dog parks and limited social interaction overall. Thank you, Jordan. That is, it's helpful to hear. That is like what we do with Fiona as well, where it's like Fiona's, trigger is like, dogs that are kind of staring her down, and she'll
Yeah.
stare right back. So it's not as if she isn't. She's
Part of the
she's
problem.
She's part of the problem.
Yeah.
She'll lock in,
Yeah.
and she won't break eye contact, and then she'll fucking lunge. I mean, she wants to play with the dogs,
Yeah,
but
it's excitement. It's not
rough.
aggression, which we've now had super confirmed with a trainer that we work with. But It sucks. She has what they call leash frustration.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't like not being able to go say hi to every dog that she encounters. So she'll bark on the leash, and it looks very intimidating.
Yeah.
Which really sucks because she goes to dog daycare and she's very responsible at dog daycare. She's really good, hangs out with all the dogs. But as soon as you put her on a leash, like she just scares other people, which I get.
Yeah.
And she's terrified of children and babies.
Yeah.
And that happened because we got her during COVID. And Rottweilers in general are very suspicious dogs. They're wary. They're guardian breed. So they're wary dogs.
Trigger warning, dog racism.
But they don't. So because we couldn't expose her to children as much as we should have at a young age, now she's like unsure of kids. So she'll bark if like there's a kid that's looking at her.
Yeah,
or whatever.
it just freaks her out. It feels very alien.
Yeah.
And I can relate.
Relatable.
Yeah, why are they so small? It's kind of weird.
And confident.
Thank you guys for your comments about adopting. It seems like in general, it's like someone had mentioned just going and like volunteering at like a shelter. That's like a good way to like get some exposure and see what it's like, and just I don't know, get more used to the experience and the range of dogs that come in. Probably.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that would be a really nice thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, and last dog comment. I adopted a relatively young dog 7 years ago. He was young then. Oh, wait, no. I did that one.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, another relatively
Oh, here we
young?
go. I adopted my baby. She's 15 now. I got her at 6 months to a year, somewhere in there. The pound said she was 6 months, but the vet said she was closer to a year. She's a healer/pointer mix, and she's been my everything.
Aw.
She's the smartest, most stubborn, most wonderful dog. While I grew up with dogs, she really tested me, but we figured it out. Now, as I'm thinking about getting another, I want to rescue again, but I want another healer. I'm used to smart-ass dogs now. LOL. Adopting is awesome. Go meet them and take them on a few walks and do a vibe check. I swear they know you're saving them. It sounds like you guys have a really good dog background. I fully believe you guys could adopt.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
I think that Ian said to me today or yesterday that he's very confident that adopting is probably going to be our next move.
I think it's the right
cool.
thing, because lately I've been feeling more so than I ever have before about how it does feel good. It feels, I guess I'm not as resistant as I used to be to like sacrificing some time and energy into doing something nice for the dog.
Others in general.
Others in general.
Yeah.
Just like I think before I would be like, oh man, it's like, it wasn't like this. It was more of a, what do you call that? Like a passive, like a background thought of like, I don't want to like spend too much time on a pet. But now I'm like, oh, I'm excited
to spend time.
I'm excited to do a thing that is going to like engage your brain and make you happy.
Yeah.
Even if it is fleeting, even if it's only for 10 minutes or whatever it is. And that's nice. And I'm having those moments more and more often. And I'm like, I think I get it.
Yeah. I think especially if we choose not to have kids, like I would really like to probably adopt like a special needs dog, like a dog that either
They
has,
could use it.
Yeah, that needs somebody who works from home that can give them the time that they.
We saw this big old bulldog. Was it a bulldog?
It's a bulldog. Yeah, English bulldog.
He's very old, and this guy, I've seen it a few times. People who have to essentially carry around.
It's a sling.
Yeah, it's a sling.
For their hind legs.
For the hind legs.
Yeah.
And man, it is such a. It's sad to see. But it's also very heartwarming to see people out walking their dogs who are in that like position.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so fucking awesome.
The puppy seemed so excited to be fucking moving,
Yeah.
And he sat down for a second and he had the shakes.
Yeah.
Which is like a neurological, they're born with it.
Yeah.
They're
kind of out
center
of balance. Yeah.
It's a bit off, so they always kind of and you could tell his hind legs weren't working. And but he was having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that shit makes me so happy.
It's awesome.
To see
it's
them
so awesome.
living their best life. So I wouldn't mind, doing something like that. I think that would be
It'd be very cool. Okay. So I did have a comment that was like 10 pages long.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I've already heard about
It was a
this
bit
one.
triggering, but I think it was actually a good opportunity to just talk about plans for the show, plans for the channel in general. And that is everything is incomplete. This I could use a bubble level on this painting to make it perfectly level, if I so desire.
Ian, I'm gonna.
Line it up with the stripe. You got the perfect
But I
reference
put
right
that
there.
on. But I didn't put that on straight.
Yeah, we
so.
put on. Here's the thing. It's very. I usually wouldn't share this, but it's just so fucking funny. Ian was like mad at this fucking comment.
Oh no.
Like, because it was long, and there were a lot of assumptions, and a lot of like assumptions that like one of them was like, use the bubble level on the cameras
On the
tripod, and Ian did like if there's one thing Ian really did try to care about, it was like camera setup and like lighting, and like he spent hours in here trying to get everything. They also assumed, Dane, that you're our like producer. Dane's never stepped foot in this room. Okay, like this is all Ian. This is literally all Ian. Like this whole thing.
Yeah.
So, but they were like, you have a producer,
Yeah.
and you don't even use him.
Like, why don't you have him bring stuff up?
Oh
kinda
yeah, they
thing.
wanted you to be like Jamie from Joe
And-
Rogan.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't care that this picture is not level. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's one of those things where like all of it, like this is, I think what frustrates me about it is like it's all like good advice if
You cared.
well, basically no, it's like in a vacuum, it's
Yeah.
good advice, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes, use the bubble level. Like, sure, like line up your shot.
Mm-hmm.
All of this kind of stuff. Oh, the one which I fixed today
Glare.
was the reflection in the thing, and it's like,
Oh, he
like,
also said that.
the reflection was there because I didn't care about it.
Yeah, I didn't care.
And I was
Which,
like,
by the
eventually
way-
I could get to that.
By the way, I made the suggestion to remove the glass
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
or whatever, which I don't think you did. I think you just moved the light, right?
No, I just put a little fucking nugget behind the painting so that it moved forward and
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
wasn't like.
But
as
now it's
direct.
not flush with the wall, and so it's
Yeah,
you know.
you're right. True.
But here's, I guess, like it's just very funny because we do this. This is supposed to be just
This
a
is
casual.
this is the low effort
This
thing.
is the low effort casual thing. Most people don't give a shit. And
Look at the fucking light under Anisa's goddamn foot.
what the hell?
It's just
Ian?
floating there.
Holy
And that's because I
crap!
just took some shit tape and taped it under there to get
Yeah.
get an idea.
Yeah.
It's not like a permanent solution.
My favorite part of the
It fell
comment
down.
was
Yeah.
my favorite part of the comment was they said, but he won't take any of this criticism because of an ego thing or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's more like I did take all of the criticism
No,
completely.
Yeah,
No,
you took it
it's-
very seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like the annoying thing about it is like we're not. This is not an important.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is important.
Preach, queen.
We don't care
Yes.
that much. It's not that deep.
Yes.
Is the thing, okay? When this podcast is making us positive money,
Yeah.
we'll start putting it. We have a lot of shit we have
Yes.
to do all the time.
Right, and this is also another thing that I don't think people necessarily. I mean, I think the majority of the commenters
People
understand
get it.
that it is a low effort project.
Yeah.
Like that's actually the point of a lot of podcasts.
Mhm.
I know it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to like interpret because it's like, well, a podcast could be as like highly produced and edited as a YouTube video.
Sure.
I choose not to have that. Like
I don't really like
Setup.
podcasts like that
Neither do I.
personally. I
Yeah.
think all of us were inspired, obviously, by what we like, and the kind of setups that we like are the more casual ones that are kind of janky, and you know, you can tell that they're put together on the fly.
Yeah.
So
Oh, he
we're
was
gonna
also mad about the
make that happen.
socks or the sweater that Ian cut
Oh,
up.
but
for me.
that's. I mean, I will say that's a good criticism because these are very bright. But
What? I like it.
But I will say,
I brought that up as well. If
Yeah.
you remember.
I will say though, if you want to be a creative juggernaut, you have to take risks.
That's true.
Yeah,
And my risk was this
trying it out.
sock that I purchased on Amazon for $7.
Okay. Also, though,
That's a sock?
the one comment that I really took
Yes.
issue with,
Mm-hmm.
because it was directed at me, was that there's no color scheme going on. What the fuck are you talking about, bitch? I specifically picked out coral. We're going for a 70s vibe. You've got coral seats. You've got some fucking orange and shit. You've got like the 70s groovy plants. You've got like this like
also
sandy coral like this, what the fuck? What?
wait.
Coral.
Coral.
Leave me
Also,
alone.
another criticism was this plant. It's like it shouldn't be there, or I don't know why it's even there.
It's hiding a sandbag, you asshole.
It's just hiding some fucking sandbags.
Because it has to anchor this.
Yeah, should it be there? Probably not.
And whatever.
Is it there? Frick yeah, it is.
Frick yeah. Well, okay, and to go in with my the color scheme, right?
Yeah.
A nice white oak table, which goes with the 70s vibe and the coral.
Hello, white
and
oak.
This Chechnyan yellow bird.
It's literally
ashtray.
Chechnyan.
Okay. Hate on
We
someone else.
We should click on that guy's channel and see all of videos that he's made and the views, and see his subscribers and point out just how many he has.
We should drive by his house and freaking moon him.
Yeah.
Stick our butt cheeks up against the window and moon him.
No, we should feed him some lead-laden
sandwich.
applesauce.
Some lead-laden applesauce and a knuckle sandwich.
Yeah.
No. We should message him nice compliments and make him feel good.
Kill him with kindness.
Okay,
Yes.
that's smart.
See, this is why Dana's our producer that's never stepped foot in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all of it, valid, but also not
But I
as
piss
well.
on you.
Yeah.
I take a
It's
piss
whatever. I
on
mean,
you.
yeah, we're being funny, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's whatever. It's just a fun thing that we're doing.
Mhm.
We're working on it.
Oh, also,
We're sitting in a room
Say.
and talking. Like, how complicated does it need to be? Some would even say that the laissez-faire, is that the word? The laissez-faire nature of a podcast is what makes a podcast good.
You're
You
in our
can't have it
house.
too rigid. You can't have it too controlled, I think.
Agreed.
Bringing it back to Minecraft.
Steve is 1.8 blocks tall, and Enderman is 3.3 blocks tall.
Is that Raptor?
Yeah.
That sounds
3
like
blocks tall for your bed, so you don't wake up, hit your head, and die. 2 blocks tall for your chest and crafting table area, so an Enderman can't spawn in your home.
that sounds like a Raptor
No,
Good
it's
idea.
someone named Haley.
comment. Oh. There's a viewer that I have that I swear to God that
That would have been.
that would have been him. Raptor, if you were thinking of that comment, let me know.
Nice. A lot of people posting ham sandwiches in the chat for Merlin.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What a handsome little guy. Devilishly handsome, one might say.
Yes.
Some
I think that's pretty much it from the comments.
a guy that was power blasting a house today stopped his work to tell us how handsome Merlin was on our walk.
Very cool.
Um,
Drive-by compliments, just like the drive-by. It's like the opposite of the drive-by mooning.
True. Which we won't be doing to that guy who commented that. Only
We will instead be doing drive-by compliments
because we're killing him with kindness.
because we're killing him. We'll drive by his house and say, "You're handsome."
You're so smart.
We
You're
will use the
awesome.
bubble level. The bubble level is a genius idea. We love bubble levels.
bubble level, bubble level, bubble level. Oh, also, let me just say, wait. Never mind.
Wow.
I was gonna make a comment that No, it would have made me sound dumb. Not gonna do it.
Well, now that you've prefaced it that you are aware of the dumbness of it,
Yeah.
I think it's fair to
Okay, I'll address it.
Oh, no.
I was gonna say like that bubble level shit don't help me none if the floor of my basement is like uneven. But
See, that's
the truth
that's
is,
why I don't whenever I'm setting up cameras personally, I don't really like to rely too heavily on that because it is inconsistent because sometimes you're on uneven ground.
And I tell you what, I promise you, this ground is uneven.
But
I've tried to stretch on here,
yeah.
different elevations.
However, comma, that's the point of the bubble level is because it will always be going northward, going skyward.
No, but you're correct
if you're
actually,
unlevel.
because this is unlevel in like a weird way. Like there's concrete sections that are a little bit higher
I see what
than
you mean. Yes. Based on what you're like looking at through the camera, you will need to make adjustments so that it is level and good for the lens. Okay. Yeah. Shout out Anisa.
It's like cooking. You play it by eye.
Yes.
And by sniffer.
But this guy wants to bake a cake. We're not trying to bake a cake. We're trying to cook a fucking lasagna.
Bless.
Bro's
Dane.
trying to do a science demonstration that involves hydrochloric acid and sugar.
Bro's trying to piss me off.
Get off my camera. I'm not talking.
Why you put on me?
Quick, say something.
Bro's
Here's
really
a story
of a girl
of a stinky
who
lady.
cried a river and drowned the
I'm looking
whole
up
world.
At Anisa.
Huh?
I'm looking up at Anisa.
I'm
like
looking
in the Brady Bunch.
I'm looking down at Dane. Oh, hey, Dane. Wow.
Hey,
What?
you're the wife.
Whoa.
Other way.
Whoa.
You're the wife.
You're my husband, I think.
Pretty freaking
But in the wide, you're like completely the opposite.
Oh, we gotta fix that.
Yep.
Flip it.
Okay. What else do we have on the docket?
Your mama.
Yo, mama.
True.
Do you think your family watches this?
No. Oh, my sister, I think, does.
Really?
Yeah.
My
Shout out.
Oh, Ian's birthdays, my birthday or whatever that's called.
Famous birthdays?
Famous birthdays. It says you have two brothers, Kevin and
Troy.
And Troy.
Yeah.
Kevin
and Troy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just find it so funny because people still think your birthday. People still think your birthday's July 27th to the point where our business partner sent you a birthday card.
Yeah.
On July 27th.
I know, it's awesome. It's cool because I now just have 2 birthdays.
That's true.
Yep.
You always get happy birthdays on Twitter.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Everyone should do that.
No.
I mean, for like years, I didn't know when your real birthday was.
Yeah.
I thought it was whatever you said. And
July 27th.
I didn't, care to correct or ask you.
The misinformation, I think, to kill it once and for all, not born in Texas, does not have brothers named Troy and Kevin, was not born in 1991, was not born July 27th,
Yeah.
and last name was not Carter.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I had to think about that last one.
And didn't have stomach cancer.
And didn't have stomach
Yes.
cancer.
Oh,
and
that's a
didn't
good
work
one,
for an
Dan.
electrician's
And
apprentice.
was never an electrician's
Man.
apprentice. Here's the thing.
So many lies.
Well, so when
so many
everyone
lies.
dug into our business and found our marriage certificate, which we did not advertise, okay, and found that you changed your last name,
Yeah.
and they were upset, they didn't even know what your real last name was.
Yeah. True.
You were so uncaring of whether or not people knew your last name to the point where you made up a last name and you changed it arbitrarily, and now people care.
Yeah.
But you literally never you didn't want your last name, your old last name out there anyways.
No, of course not. And no one does.
Yeah.
I mean,
so like, why
generally
does
speaking.
anyone? Well, now everybody knows your last name
Yeah.
because they looked up. That was weird. We got married, and then the day after, not even, I think it was like same day, people were up looking on Nevada's marriage license website and pulled our
So
marriage
crazy.
license to like talk about how you took my last name. Which, by the way, okay, we did because my dad, his brain is Swiss cheese, and it just was important to me emotionally a little, not even a lot, like a little bit, because we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and it was very 50-50. So the things that tilted
it was very uncaring in
it
general.
was very uncaring, but the things that tilted it to the side where we were like, okay, well, if we have to choose one, my dad's brain is Swiss cheese. I live in America right now, and it will be more annoying for me to change my last name while living in America than for you to do it. And then we were like, well, let's just choose my last name.
Plus, I also enjoy a good new experience, and
that's true.
that for me was I mean, I won't say it ended up being a good new experience.
No, yeah, it was horrible to change.
Yeah, but
Had we known that we could keep our own last names, we probably...
I don't know that I would have, though.
No.
Because I did like the unification under last name. It makes it simple. Having like
if
two
there's
different
an
last names
emergency,
is like whatever.
Yeah, because if there's an emergency...
Feels lame.
And you're like, oh, I'm married to her. Can I get in the helicopter? The ambulance...
They're going to say, prove it.
You have a different last name. You're not married. You know, I don't know. It just feels like it would be... I know that's extreme.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of have to think about stupid things like that because that's when it is going to surprise you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, I thought this would be obvious.
Yeah.
Look at the ring on my finger.
It's so... I'm telling you guys, the name change choice was so arbitrary that, like, when we were just filling out the paperwork for... I think it was, like, for applying for citizenship. We had to do that before we got married or start on it.
Yeah.
We just sat there and we were like, oh, shit, we got to choose the last name. And then within 5 minutes, we were like, okay, we'll choose yours.
Yeah.
Just like
yeah, but the fucking haters out there isn't going to believe that.
Well, here's the thing. I this is like very similar to the guy who was like leaving that like long message about how like you should care more about how things look. What I think these people who are like criticizing you for certain things, it's usually all boils down to like they don't like that you don't care about certain things as much as they do.
Yeah.
And they're like, why don't you care about that?
Yeah.
Like, I care about that. Why don't you care about that?
No,
What
that's
the
a
heck?
good point.
Yeah.
And so they just have that disconnect where they're just like, I don't get why this guy doesn't take this so seriously.
Right.
But the truth is, like, neither of you guys really take
We don't care.
a lot of things very seriously.
It's true, yeah.
So
we have
like
learned
whatever.
Yeah.
There's
Well
not
said,
very
Dane.
much that we care about, to be honest. I mean, we care about the important things, but it's a
But
lot
it's
of energy.
subjective.
Yeah.
What you care about is subjective, and I think maybe there's just some people who can't understand that.
Yeah. I think, and also like I don't even think we're gonna have kids. So like, what the fuck does it even matter?
Yeah.
We're
Like,
not
yeah.
passing
Also,
anything down.
man, yeah, it is tiring to hear that as like the ultimate like defense
Yeah.
of the male last name.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like you aren't doing any of the things of the
I know.
of the past. Like, why is this the one thing? And do you give a fuck about your great something?
It's also very weird because
I
like
don't.
you don't cook the creature in your stomach, you don't push the creature out, you don't do the majority of the labor. So why is it like the last name just gets slapped on there?
It's like a masculinity thing, probably. Like,
Yeah.
So weird.
you
though.
have to pass on your seed, and the passing on of the surname is like a representation of like continuing.
It's like tagging it, you know?
Like, you know how like men, I think, are just like programmed in a way where they feel like they have to like
Pass their seed.
pass stuff on. Like
Elon Musk style.
My son will inherit this. Like, whenever I think that tradition probably falls under that umbrella of just wanting to pass something on.
Yeah.
You know,
We're trying right now to convince ourselves that we want kids because I feel like I'm turning 31 and I definitely don't want to have kids past 35, like starting to try to have kids past 35 because like takes a while and like I don't know, I don't want to be like in my 40s.
but HRH is having a kid at 39.
Yeah, she is, but it was
and it's gonna be great.
It was like in vitro, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it was.
Yeah, it gets a little
harder.
tricky. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to like, because I have zero desire, close to zero desire. You have how much desire out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
fuck.
I know the
Like
answer to this, by the way, because you answered this in a Plants vs Zombies episode.
Really?
There's an upcoming Plants vs Zombies episode where you guys have this exact
See, because
conversation.
we're trying to convince ourselves.
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
I don't know, a 2?
Yeah, it's very low.
Damn, in the Plants vs Zombies episode, it was a 5.
Yeah,
out of 10.
5 is like neutral, right? Like, I wouldn't cry if we had a kid, but I wouldn't like be like my life is complete.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get the 5,
Right.
but it's very low.
I think I'd be a lot more excited about it if you were excited about it.
Yeah, I just can't.
You know what I mean?
I
Because
can't
it
get.
like it's a 2-player game.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know, man. There's something
And that is
about.
kind of how your brain works, Ian, where
True.
in order to enjoy something, you have to have the reassurance that
Other
people
people
around
are
you are also
enjoying it.
having fun.
Yeah,
True.
You can't be the only selfish person having a good time.
yeah. I don't know. It's very. I'm trying so hard. I want because I feel like if you miss the window, you miss it.
Yeah.
You know?
But
I guess.
I don't know. There's a lot of people out there who have missed that window and they're fucking loving life and
True.
they're child free.
Yeah.
And
Or you can be Robert De Niro.
well, I could be Robert De Niro.
Yeah, I
She
can't be Robert De Niro.
You know about him having a kid?
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't,
funny.
but I assumed.
at an old age. At
He's
the right
fucking
age
80.
Oh,
I have a friend. I have a friend who has an uncle who's younger than them, and because their father was a professor at a college, very old professor, and had sex with a very young student, and then had now my friend's uncle. I think the professor was like 80 something, Robert De Niro age, and the mother was
Robert
like,
De Niro. Age.
the mother was like 25
Yeah.
or something, 24.
Interesting.
From
Maybe
now on,
even
can we just call people who are like above the age of 80 Robert De Niro age? Like
Yeah, I
Biden
like
is
that.
Robert De Niro age and stuff.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, and if you're mid-20s, we call you Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend age.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Below 25.
Yep.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Between 18 and 25 is Leonardo DiCaprio girlfriend age.
Okay, what are we gonna call then? If you're fucking like early 30s, is there some obscure way to label that?
Just pearly things like hatred age.
Just pearly things, hatred age, yeah.
Hatred age.
Just pearly things, expiration date
Yeah.
age.
Oh, oh man,
Oh man, the clock is ticking, Pearl. Where's she at?
I know.
Where you
that's
at?
Sad.
Where you at, Pearl?
Come on the pod.
Oh, that would be.
Well, that might
wow.
be a good
Get Pearl on the pod.
segue because, like, I was thinking how fucking good a Just Pearly Things documentary would be.
Ian really wants to do it. Just pearly
No,
things.
I
documentary.
agree. No,
Yeah.
that would be a good idea.
I just have so many questions, and maybe the start of that could be a podcast episode.
Oh my god. I mean, I would enjoy recording that a lot more than the other idea for a documentary that you have been cooking lately.
Yeah, interesting.
we're-
Okay.
I'm going to give a hint, a very thick hint,
A thick hint.
a
Okay.
substantial hint that most people will be able to get.
Wait, no, no, keep it hidden. Keep it hidden.
I'll say this.
Keep your freaking.
Pray for my safety tomorrow night. Literally pray for my safety tomorrow night.
Oh,
because
come on.
I have to film. What do you mean, oh, come on? I wouldn't even fucking leave my house past 7 p.m. here.
Right, but you're going to be in very good hands.
True.
Interesting.
That's true.
Interesting.
No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't say anything. I don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
For
Like,
probably different reasons than you though. You just don't want to be out late at night.
I'm a 135-pound fucking little. I look like a little twink. Okay, I'm gonna
You
go
could beat
out.
the shit. You could beat the shit out of me easily. You
No.
know how to box.
That I look like I'm prime meat to be stabbed.
Yeah, look that way, but in reality, you know how to throw a left hook, right?
Right into a shank, into my fucking hand.
Left hook into shank is a pretty good trick.
That's my party trick. Left hook into shank.
I was thinking that's a fucking Tony Hawk Pro Skater trick.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing. That's your special.
True.
Boop.
Okay.
Anyways,
All
we're
right.
cooking on documentaries.
I still don't have my egg timer yet, so I'm gonna have to really quick see what time it is.
Pretend to sneak out like you did the last time. I slapped his ass, but you couldn't see it on the camera, I don't think.
That's good. Didn't want to get flagged.
My internal clock's good, to be honest.
It's crazy. I will wake up at a random time, and I'll wake Ian up, and I'll be like, guess what time it is? And I swear to fucking God, within the minute, every single time, he'll be like, 7:30 a.m. And it is literally like 7:29 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't know how
That's
you
pretty
do
good.
that. Every time. It's been like 4 times in a row.
I'm the master.
What can I say?
I'm the master of the clock. I'm the
I feel like
master
if you
of
do
the
stuff
clock.
What the hell? I feel like if you do stuff enough times, and you guys usually wake up around the same time every morning, right?
No, it's been different. Sometimes I'll let him sleep in. Like, I thought I was really going to trick him the other day because I slept in, or I lied in bed until 8:30. And so I woke him up. I was like, do you want to guess what time it is? And he was like, 8:30. Like, he just knew. I don't know. It's crazy.
No, I think that power does come from repetition, and because you guys have done this so many times now, you can kind of feel how long an hour and a half is. Because
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think you're right, Dane.
I don't set my alarm at all, and I feel like sometimes I can wake up and be like, all right, it's this time, and look at the clock, and I'm usually right.
Well, I don't know. My internal compass clock off always. I have no idea what way I'm facing at any given time. I'm so disoriented.
That's true. We'll take a walk around the neighborhood,
I have no clue what's
and
going on.
I'll like decide to choose like a different path than we normally would. And it's just a matter of like going one block over or one street, one different turn, and she's like, I don't know where we're at. Like,
I have no clue.
how much longer is it going to take to get home is what she'll ask at that point.
yeah.
I'm like, fucking, I don't know, the same as before, but we're one street over.
I would definitely die in a forest. Like, I would die in a forest like a mile away from the road. You know what I mean? And people would be like, oh, that's so sad. She was so close.
I will say, though, I think you're a lot better off than you think you are. I just think there is, like, I know that I can turn my brain off for some household duties.
I see what you're saying. I'm
You
like,
can
Ian
turn
will
your
take
brain
care of-
off. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Because you don't turn your brain off for dates.
Yeah, no,
That's
no,
something,
you're right.
because that's still in the same category of like date, time,
You're correct.
navigation.
Yeah. You hear that? Angry little nasty commentary channels? Ian turns his brain off for household tasks and domestic duties because I do most of them because we are in a heteronormative relationship.
Wow,
And he's
Ian
the
looks really
Chad.
uncomfortable right now. I think he doesn't like this marriage.
He's the Chad. He's the Chad.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Impressive.
I watched a frame-by-frame reaction to Ian when his wife was yelling,
I saw his
and he
initial
looked,
distaste.
and he did a small smirk that indicated distaste.
And then he shit his pants.
And then he fucking, and then he had a
I should switch to a fucking shit cam.
yeah, do the 1,000-yard stare like that one image.
Oh
Oh my
shit,
god,
Cam.
the lighting on that is amazing.
And then when you do that, you should play SpongeBob ripped his pants, but then
Oh.
edit it to say shit his pants.
I like that.
And then I shit my pants.
There was someone on the Let's Play who was like right on it, like still shitting your pants, Ian.
I saw that and I was wondering. I was like, what? They should just set up like a bot or something.
Yeah,
Like-
still shitting.
Might as well. I mean, if you're just gonna say the same like kind of thing every single time, like you're just like waiting for the upload, just set up a bot.
Well, we have
Like
some
these
good
guys
news.
are probably AI bros anyway. That's like a good way to use that.
We have
True.
we have some good news about the pants shitting.
I'm curious.
Why is there an update to this?
Oh, true.
Yeah.
There's good news.
Good news.
Okay. I have been eating nothing but chicken tenders.
What?
That's true. That's true.
No, it's mainly my lunch. But yeah, not too much pants shitting lately.
Since
Oh,
the
you're saying
chicken-
you changed
Yeah.
your diet. What
Yeah.
was the cause? You think like carbs or what?
No. I'm pretty sure I have some gastro shit, some IBS related meme.
Mhm.
Sure.
And I think it's things that are like a certain type of carbohydrate. I think fucks me up. I think I've identified too many mushrooms, too many onions, too many certain things.
Sour cream.
Yeah, sour cream.
Sour cream
I
fucks
think
you
did
up.
it. But I can eat it.
Yeah,
It
it's
just might not be pretty.
yeah. He's but it's good because you can tell he's
I'm
like
putting on weight.
he's putting on
Yeah.
weight.
I'm 192 pounds right now.
He's so close to his.
Ooh,
oh,
8
yeah.
more to go.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking for a weight update.
Mhm.
So you're 192 pounds,
Yep.
and it's because we figured out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
And to clarify for the last time, when we're talking about shitting pant, we mean in the same way that like piss pant, as in like you just really need to go to the bathroom. You're going to shit yourself if you don't go to the bathroom. That's what we mean by shit pant and piss pant. Okay? I say piss pant all the time.
Could say, yeah, I mean, I could just say I got IBS.
But it's not
It's funnier.
it's
I
funnier
could
to say shit pant.
Oh yeah, no, I agree completely. I'm just trying to be technical for the people who are uninitiated.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just irregular
basically,
bowel
yeah,
movement.
a lot of like crazy random diarrhea, basically.
Yeah, there you go.
And yeah, I couldn't pin it down for the longest time.
Yeah.
But now I'm eating like it's kind of boring. I'm eating very boringly.
Yeah.
Every meal pretty much was different before because I didn't like eating the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm starting to be a little bit more
Routine.
routine.
And yeah, 192
Nice.
pounds. I mean, you're freaking
I'm
built
also just eating more, and it's I mean it's crazy when
lifting more.
it's weird. I didn't realize that I would gain more weight by not shitting as much.
Yes. Because you're holding the nutrients in. You're holding
Yeah.
before,
But
you
before I
were
was just shitting the nutrients
expelling
out.
the calories out before you could like absorb
Yeah.
them into your body.
I should have asked
it's just-
Dr. Mike
you-
about
you-
that.
You know, water weight. It's just shit weight.
Shit weight.
True.
Yeah, you're holding all the shit in, and that's
Yeah.
the extra poundage.
Hmm.
But you're gonna take a massive dump and lose like 5 pounds.
Oh, wait. So is that kind of what it means to... So there's a lot of ways to be anorexic. There's bulimia, vomiting,
Yes.
but there's also taking laxatives.
Yes.
So you shit out of your ass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And some people heavily abuse
So many
laxatives.
ways to lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Don't do that. If anyone's listening to this,
I'm getting a brain blast right now. Actually,
please do not do that. I actually had to yell at one of the fighters from first Creator Clash because they told me that they were using X-Lax. And I was like, absolutely fucking not. Do not do that. Don't do
yeah,
that.
that's not good for you.
Yeah, please. I'm so serious.
But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode.
Shit your
But
pant
before we
later.
go, let's give everyone a roundup.
Big ups to the round.
Patreon is always cooking.
True.
Always. You cannot deny. We
PewDiePie.
yeah, we're just gonna keep uploading game content over on the channel with regular frequency, like the podcast. The bog isn't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That is still on Patreon.
We love the bog. We spill our guts on the bog.
Yeah, we do spill our guts. We cut open each other's large intestine intentionally. And I think that's it.
We don't do that, by the way. We're not cutting each
Oh,
other's.
by the way, guys.
The Chrome Cross.
Christ is king.
He has
This
risen.
was already on the. This was already on the bog.
This was
Right.
already on the bog.
Yeah, he has risen. What's the new thing? Not he has risen. I have
Oh
chosen.
my god. I've chosen, or
I
like
have chosen.
yeah, just fancy new Christian ways of saying God is good, God is great, let us eat some cake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the
Like
Christian cross
basically
will
like
be
doing
there.
like an American version of Allahu Akbar.
yeah,
Basically,
true.
right?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, well, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh. Ian loves doing that when we walk by the area where the cat got hit by the car.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
good.
I did it, and then Ian was like, "You're Muslim." That was literally what he said. I
That's
did
the
it.
right thing. Yeah, keep her in check.
He
She's
said,
not allowed
"You're
to do
Muslim."
that.
Yeah.
So then I started. I was like,
That's
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
my thing.
I have to start getting you to fucking start
You have
praying.
to bring your prayer rug.
Yeah. Oh, true. I should lay it down and do the Milrib prayer.
Nice.
But I don't know which way. That's why I can't. That's why Muslims have to know which way to face their prayer rug to Mecca.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
And I'm
you gotta
directionally challenged.
generally know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta point it. Some of them have a compass on them,
The prayer rug?
on the prayer rug.
That's
yeah.
sick.
So you can use the compass to like
Okay.
point it.
That's so fancy.
Yeah. Muslim fun fact of the day.
Man, that's neat. Okay. Any last words?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
Ah.
Hasta
La vista.
Baby.